Good afternoon. So I'm just pulling up this supposed to be speaker slot, but the speaker is late, and one of the speakers wasn't able to make it out to our country. I don't know where he is right now.
In the clouds.
Huh?
In the clouds.
In the clouds. Okay. So my topic is about car infotainment hacking methodology and attack surface scenarios. So just a little bit of description and also summary of this talk. I already presented this one at DEF CON 26 at the Wall of Sheep Packet I think Village. So hindi na po siya kuha na lang siya. Hindi na siya bago. But you know, maybe hindi niyo pa nakita to. So I hope you will listen or learn something from it. So my name is Jay Turla. I work as an application security engineer at background. I'm a ROOTCON goon since ROOTCON 5. I contributed to some security tools, open source mostly, and probably a lot from Metasploit. Then a lot of PS4. People say that I'm the creator of Turla malware because that's my last name, but I'm not that one. So I've received a lot of tweets, DMs in Twitter before, like in 2013, and I said, no, I'm not even Russian. I'm Filipino. So I love to party, and if you want to have party with us, you can go to our party at the post-con party. Is the registration still going on?
Registration is open.
Registration is still open, and can they bring drinks too?
They can bring whatever they want.
Yeah, you can bring drinks too. Okay, so that's it. Tapos na. Hindi no. So before anything else, we need an inspirational quote from the Fast and the Furious. It's not the ride, it's the ride. So kahit mas nasirati pa yung sasakyan mo, kung bado ka naman, wala ka rin mamina. So about the scopes and limitations, it's more about infotainment bugs and its attack surfaces. Hindi siya totally car takeover, but things that you can find, simple bugs that you can find in your car's infotainment system. No canvas hacking, maybe we'll do it sometime, but not today. Methodology, security bugs, but not full takeover of the car. So kind of similar to Jason Haddock's the bug hunters methodology. It's actually inspired by it, but it's not about hunting bugs. It's more on hunting bugs. I know it's not about hunting bugs in an abstract level, but in most web applications, but it's mostly on the car. So I don't want to miss out attack surfaces. So if you can, after this talk, if I miss some attack surfaces, do let me know. We can talk about it. Maybe you can let me borrow your car if you want to. So the common attack surfaces by Craig Smith. He was our keynote speaker. Jackie and I, or Emma Dunn, are fanboys of Craig. So we were like, when we first saw it, we were like, so yeah.
Touch me.
Can I touch you? Something like that. So yeah, Car Hacker's Handbook. Those are the common attack surfaces: cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, CPMS, KS. But we will not be talking mostly about these attack surfaces. We'll be talking about the attack surfaces for an infotainment console. We have the Bluetooth, we have the Wi-Fi, we have the USB ports. We have the SD card ports, CD-ROM or the DVD-ROM. Craig actually talked about this one already, so I'm just gonna skip that part. Touchscreen and other inputs that allow you to control the console. Audio jack, maybe, but I heard from Jamie that you can actually reset, you can actually short the audio jack, and it allows you to access the console over infotainment. I haven't tried that one yet, but
Reset the system.
Reset the system. Yeah. So it's still an attack surface. So we have cellular connection, GPS, etc. Okay, so let's try to reflect on this attack surfaces. First, we have the Bluetooth. Because it's Bluetooth, it has a couple of vulnerabilities. It has a couple of weaknesses. In fact, like a month ago, a new vulnerability was discovered for this one. So things that you can do if there's a Bluetooth in your infotainment. You can jam the Bluetooth. You can not enable the guy who wants to play Justin Bieber song on his car. You can jam it, or any song that he wants. Siguro mga X-Battalion or something. So, yeah. Things that you can also do, you can execute some code. I haven't seen a POC on this one yet. I need to research more. So, then we have the default Bluetooth pairing numbers. You have the 00011111234. So, very easy to identify, right? So if you first connected to your car, you are presented with the pairing numbers, right? So usually those are the default numbers. And then you can send malform or format string vulnerabilities to brick the device. So you can brick the device. You can possibly void your warranty. Depends on what's on your warranty. And we have memory corruption. You can send malformed packages to the head unit. You can actually, I have seen a POC from BMW. One of our friends owns a BMW. So you can actually corrupt the Bluetooth stack on the car, and you can override the EIP of that stack. So here's a simple scenario. So you can actually crash your a BMW car via %X or %C format string specifiers in a device: name, address, group name, song, title, etc. So for example, your phone name of your device is like under %X, and you increment it like for 10 characters. It's possible that you can crash the you can brick the device. The CV 2017 was assigned to a BMW. Again, BMW na. So 330i 2011 car, wherein a researcher from IOActive renamed this device with format string specifiers. So warning lang, it bricks your system, so test at your own risk. What if it takes you, in some cases, it will take you to the desktop environment or debug options. So what if after crashing the console or the infotainment system, it actually takes you to the desktop environment, or it takes you to the debug options of your car. So it's possible that if you have a stylus and you have the infotainment system, you can, if it takes you to the desktop environment, you can click on some of the icons and run on the command prompt. Then boom, you get the shell. So from Obzi, this is the guy that I'm talking about. He works at IOActive, and he named his phone with this one and connected his phone to his BMW car, and after that, it bricked his device. So I don't know what happened to this infotainment system, but I've seen his tweet that he wasn't able to make his infotainment console or device running again. So yeah, build it, or maybe if you could maybe if you could repair it or reverse engineer it, baka dun pa gagana ulit. So please don't try this on one of your friend's car, but if you want to try to, please do. So, then, from Daniel Whistler and Jason Haddock's GitHub repository, you can see some payloads that you can try to connect to name your phone name for your the song title of your phone of your music MP3 file, or you can also what else? Phone book address. Okay, if you have a phone address where the name is person P, person P, person P, and then the car connected to his phone and someone called him up with that contact name, so you can break the device. And then we have Wi-Fi. Okay, most infotainment consoles have Wi-Fi, right? Does the firmware update work over the internet? So in most consoles, there's a setting where you can see that it allows you to update the firmware. So if it does like that, try sniffing the network or replace it with a malicious firmware. So you can run Wireshark, then if there is no signature validation on the firmware update, you can change the contents of the firmware and put a backdoor on it. Or if you can see where the update is located, so you can check and maybe reverse the firmware update. So what's next? First thing that you can do, connect to Wi-Fi, and then it fetch a DHCP IP address, then you run Nmap, then you need to check what service does it have. Does it have FTP? Does it have Telnet? Does it have SSH? Okay, so if it does have these kind of services, so here's the scenario: you are the car is connected to your to a network, and sabi mo, pre, pakonect sa Wi-Fi mo, his car is like connected to the Wi-Fi network. So you need to find the host or the IP address of that one, then scan using Nmap. And if he is kind of techy, you can check if he logins to his Infotainment via Telnet or FTP, and then you can sniff the credentials. So some of these interfaces have no auth or no authentication, and NetGap is your friend, or Telnet is your friend for this one. And if there are services running, if it has older services, you can actually exploit these services, like older versions of some services. And yeah, that's from my car. So siguro nagigets nyo na anong model yan. So yeah, Cheetos yan. No, that's not my car. Cheetos not my car. Yung nasa baba. So you need to get to know the default password of accessing the system. So does it provide you a root access? And as what you can see, my car is actually running an SSH. So, and this is not MUX, this is Mazda. Those are the default passwords. You have the JCI root, JCI, JCI root, JCI. So JCI is the username, root is the password. And as what you can see, I executed uname space -a, and we have Linux, CMU. So Mazda is running, Mazda's infotainment console runs on Linux. Yeah. You know what you can do with it afterwards, right? So I've also found some good POC from, no, not really a full-blown POC, but Dan Cooper and Edge Alchemate from Computex gained access to the IVI. When you say IVI, it's the in-vehicle infotainment systems root account for Volkswagen and Audi. So they weren't able to share the POC, but this is what they did based on the script that they have. They were able to access the shell, and it's running on QNX because most infotainment runs on Linux, QNX, and some do run Windows or BlackBerry's QNX. For Windows, those are usually third-party infotainment consoles. And here's another one. That's from Audi. he was able to test his Audi, and he was able to gain the shell also, knowing the default username and password. So by default, your cars don't have strong passwords. They have default passwords, so you can brute force also. You can use Hydra, or you can use some Metasploit plug auxiliary modules to brute force, for example, a telnet service or an SSH service. Then we have some key takeaways from Charlie Miller. So they look at 2015 vehicles. This is a big difference between car hacking and, say, browser hacking. 2015 is an old browser, but still, 2000 vehicles are still new. For me, they are still very usable cars. Maganda pa rin yan. Pwede pa rin yan bilhin na second hand. And in fact, even 2010 cars. Unlike browser hacking, so it na-patch na siya right away. It's patched right away. And for example, like a few weeks from now, your exploit doesn't work right away. But for cars, it's not really like that. So Ian Tabor, he shared, after I presented this on Wallet Sheet, he DM'd me on Twitter, and he said he thanked me for including his research on a DS5 1955 limited edition. So he connected the device over TCP port without authentication and executed commands. So pinaconnect niya yung car niya sa Wi-Fi, and after that, he scanned the services or the network, I mean the IP address, and was able to get telnet service, RPC bind, DEC nodes, and DNP, which are open. And because telnet, there's telnet, so he tried to telnet to the IP address of his car, and there's no authentication. No password right away. Telnet, then the IP address, and that's it. No authentication. So it's very insecure, right? And this is one of his findings. So USB, for USB of your car infotainment, you can install apps or malicious apps. You can update the firmware via USB. You can do RCE via the USB stack to IVI. Or if you have a killer USB, which if you plug the killer USB to your laptop, it will fry your HED or erase on your HED. So if you use this one on one of the cars, and if it detects directly the USB, like for example, without any validation, so it's possible that you can destroy your IVI. And then if there's no internet on the car, one of the workaround is to have a USB to Ethernet adapters by default. Adapters, because some systems support USB to Ethernet. So this is another way for you to get an IP address of your IVI. So regarding my case, since I'm a Mazda owner myself, so I've seen forums that they have been modding and installing apps for their infotainment using an exe file called Mazda All-in-One. So I tried to check, paano ba gamitin yun? Paano ba ginagawa niya yun? And then I reflected and read some PDF file, not provided by Mazda, but from the internet. So nakita ko yung PDF, I put it in my GitHub, Mazda Get Info, so you can see the instructions. That there's actually a website before that allows you to update or get some data on your Mazda via the USB. So I tried to check on how it's done, and well, on one of the text file, it's actually executing. Hindi nakita, diba? Para makita. Baka kasi hindi makita. So, notice this line on line 20. So SH. And you have, now, this is not the actual script. It's from the script that I modified. So Mazda has a script that allows you to get some data. So I tried to check on that script and created my own script just to prove that you can actually create an RCE to your car or execute some commands to your car. And that's the one. It's open source right now. A POC that the USB port is an attack surface. And yep, you can see there it's running on Linux. And because of my finding, if you go to the Salinas slide, Salinas is the first SMS commanded rep, and I was able to see that they actually give credits to the one that I wrote. So I didn't know that they use also my script in order to get the wrap to their car. And this is the SH file that I have, that I wrote. And this is the video of how it's done. May time ka ba? Johnny?
Oh.
May
Okay,
time ba?
mahal ka namin. Sige lang.
Okay.
Basta ikaw.
Okay, so I'm sorry for the chicken on the video. That's the GitHub. So I cloned the POC that I did, and there's the USB. Where's the? There's still a hair. I don't know where that hair came from. So you need to wait for like a few seconds, and it will execute the file. So wait, and then I did it. So yeah, I was able to write an echo script and yeah, execute this one. So execute U namespace -A and got RCE on my device.
Whose cock is that?
Huh?
Whose cock is that?
Whose cock is this? It's for my uncle.
It's your uncle's cock.
Yeah. So yeah. Yep. So this is the because of the one that I did. One of the guys who created the SMS rat, they presented this in the car hacking village, and they provided more info about what I did, and that's it. They created their own SMS commanded rat, so remote administration tool. I'm not really sure if I'm the one responsible for it, but you know, it's just a POC for them. It's just a POC, and that's where I rest my case. If you're planning to report me to the police, you don't need to. I won't get to jail because I already reported this to Mazda, and I've already talked to them during the car hacking village last year, not this year. So yeah. Here's the case. People from Kid Security Lab also found local code execution via the USB. They haven't provided a POC for it, but as what you can see, they were also able to execute some commands, U namespace and NPR. This is from, forgot what called, BMW also. So it's a BMW vignette. And it currently runs as root. So SD card, another attack surface. So I don't have an exact POC for this one, but it's basically the same thing with what's discussed on the USB port. Because you can install apps, right? You can load something. And there's actually a open source application that allows you to test or create apps for your Mazda. So custom application SDK. You can write your simple dashboard or create your games. I want to create Doom, but I don't know how. You play it to your car, but no, I don't know. So next is touchscreen interface. So third left to tagay tayo sa Tamosa. That's not my car. That's for my uncle. He connect his Wi-Fi to establish IP address. Then press. You can connect to your interface to establish IP address. Then you can press anything. Multitask customer flow. So if you do multitasking, there's a possibility that you could overflow your car or cause a crash in your car. And so as you can see, one of the there's a prompt. That means that it runs on Windows. So yan, my Windows, parang Windows 95 lang. But it's pretty much like Windows C or forgot what version. But one of the goons actually, when we were still working in a certain company that where I worked with Jamie, so he just like caused an overflow for his infotainment console, and it took him to the desktop environment, and there you can. That means that the infotainment console is based off a sandbox application or portable exe file. So after that, he was able to return to the infotainment. He just needs to click on the exe file. So there's actually a YouTube video wherein you can mod your Porsche 911 or other car to run Doom in 3 easy steps. Have you heard of this news? So huwag kayong paniwala kayo, fake news to. This is just a joke. So you can see there's a toaster beside him. So it's not true. You can't do this on your Porsche. Wherein if you just push the factory of reset at the factory of settings, it will take you to the console, and then you can, if you have a CD of Doom, you can play Doom, but it's not true. It's pretty much like video effects. So, mawalan kasi crash ni Evan yan. Do you have an app that connects to your car? So this is one of the attack surface for GSM cellular connection, phone app to car. So most cars, if you have an infotainment console or device, you can actually it's usually paired with a mobile app, right? It's usually paired with a mobile app. So I don't have an exact POC because I've tested this kind of things, and I know I validated submissions from background related to some of these things, so I can't show it. But just to give you an overview, before that, Troy Hunt actually pointed out that his infotainment, there's an app for Nissan Leaf, wherein if you have an app, ang bagyo, mag-iinom pa tayo mamaya. So, yeah, before I give some description on the application for reverse engineering, Froyman actually has a POC that he tried to intercept the request from his mobile app for Nissan Leaf, because Nissan Leaf allows you to control the steering wheels of your Nissan Leaf, because it's a hybrid electronic, it's an electronic car, electric car. It's a very small car, and he tried to intercept the request from an app. So he ran burp, and then from that request, he was able to see that it doesn't need authentication. So as long as you know the VIN number of someone's Nissan Leaf, you can take over the car as long as it's connected to an LTE connection. So pretty much very dangerous. So you can eavesdrop on the connections as well. If my Stingray, especially in ROOTCON, baka may Stingray dito. So, like I said, I don't have a POC on how to reverse engineer the app, but it's very easy to do because I don't want to break or to be fired in the company that I work with. But if you get the app, if you have the app, you can reverse engineer it. For example, if it's running on APK, you can actually see some API keys that allows you to interact with some of the features of your car. So, that's it. Gusto lang ko lang makita yung mamulan. So, if you are into car hacking, you can actually report bugs to FCA. It's in background.com/FCA. So if you're into car hacking, please do so. Submit your bugs. And if you're into hacking Tesla, if you own a Tesla, you can also submit bugs to our platform. And if you have JM and you also want to hack your car, you can submit to hackerone.com/JM. So, kung ayaw nyo mahuli ng mga feds, so better report it to one of the companies and you get a reward.
Pag gusto ng bracelet, huwag nyo i-report.
Pag gusto nyo huwag nyo i-report. Okay, so video demo, tapos na yun, pero ito yung sa SSH pa. Okay, SSH. Alright. So, yep. The car has 192.168.1.1.11 IP address, and there's JCI. The reason why I was able to get to know how we can echo what you just commanded to your car is because the JCI allows you to input something. Not sure what the JCI means, but it's one of their manufacturers for their infotainment. So may mga functionalities doon that allows you to do something sa infotainment mo, like echo what you did or echo what you did na kinuman mo yung car. So yeah. Well, na-demo ko na yung video na iba. So that's it. These are my references, and I'm really a fanboy of Craig. So ito yung link sa book niya. So links from Google and Open Mazda tweaks, and some things that you can reference if you want to research more on cars. And that's it. Do you have any questions? My question? Oh, Pops, open ako for questions.
Ayaw yata nila magtanong, Pops.
Bakit?
Nahiya sila sa'yo.
Okay. Pwede nyo ako...
Ako na lang magtatanong, Pops. Sino ang crush mo sa ROOTCON?
Thank you.